Alright everybody, welcome back. Part 2 of the traffic roundabout. So in part 1, we completed this roundabout here, which was really nice, which we did have a bit of a backup here. That being said, it wasn't a huge issue, but you know, sometimes it's nice to work from the outside, right? We know we have some massive traffic issues in the heart of the city, but you have to solve traffic. You know, if we solve this, we're just going to have issues here. You know, it's just going to, it ripples through. So really, like, solving any traffic issue is going to be one piece of the puzzle. What are we going to tackle next? What are we going to tackle next? I think really this here is an issue. But it's mostly, maybe we do need to kind of like just take a stab at this, this center area here. This is one of the most disgraceful roundabouts I've ever seen in my life. Because a lot of these cars are actually trying to get this way. Well, these cars can't get this way because these cars are trying to get this way. They can't get this way because these cars... This is literally complete gridlock. This is complete gridlock. Wow. I'm just thinking to myself, like, this is going to be a huge undertaking to fix this. This is one of those situations where, you know what, we have a freeway. Basically what we need is we need a 4-point interchange, right? We have the freeway, and then we also have this side of town, and we have this side of town. And then the freeway just kind of like blends into this monstrosity of an area, right? Or you could look at it like we have an ending freeway into a 3-point, you know, interchange or something like that. So, but this this whole thing is just a complete nightmare. A complete nightmare. Yeah. We don't need this. We don't need any of this filth. Okay. So let's just sort of, so we know what we're dealing with here, let's continue this. Not that anything here is permanent, as we've just shown. Nothing here is permanent. Let's just continue it like that, which of course is going to create a... Well, these people can't even connect now. Well, they can actually connect this way. This would probably actually function better. Just forcing the people to come through this way would probably actually work better than... you know, preemptively, what I'm going to do is, I don't know if we're going to unpause until we build something or not, but just in case, preemptively, let's get a bigger road going here. As now the only way that these people can get through is to go this way, so... Why are these one-ways? Ah, that'll be fine. Yeah, not good. Not good. But let's fix this. So, what am I thinking here? I'm thinking we have a lot of space here, is what I'm thinking. I know I just built this, but you know what? We just need to completely redesign this whole area. I want this to come in. I want to have as much building room here as possible. But I believe what we're going to do is a diamond diverging interchange here. And I'll admit, I'm not an expert at building these, but I think it's going to be what we need here. All I'm trying to do is get this more in the center so that we have the maximum amount of room to build here. That's all I'm doing. It's repositioning the freeway here. Okay. So, basically the core concept is there's going to be... Wait, can we raise up here? Oh, we gotta turn that on. We gotta go back to the default mode here for the fine road tools. Why is it not giving me a measurement? I guess it's because I don't have precision engineering on, which is a nice little tool, but we don't need that. So what we're going to do here is intentionally have these flipped, right? We are doing right-hand traffic. This needs to be opposite of what we are accustomed to. Because we're going to have a situation here where basically we're using anarchy so that we can build this without too much grief. And we'll use move it to make it look really good. But the core concept here is we're making little X's. This is where the diverting comes from. In diamond diverging interchange. So the people are literally getting diverted here. And this side here needs to go the other way. And yes, there is actually going to be a traffic light in this system. But because it's going to be a 2-point traffic light, so it's not going to be anything to worry about. And I'm just using move it just to smooth it out. We're going to go through... The thing is, this is not going to look pretty until we're done. Until we're completely done. And the last step is probably going to be just to use move it to smooth everything out. So this is not going to look good. But I'm just kind of like doing a little bit here just because it's kind of bothering me a little bit. Some of these angles are bothering me. Actually, let's just align heights. Using shift to grab onto multiple nodes and then using align heights and clicking on what I want to align to. Okay, that looks fine. We can change everything with move it. We can make it exactly how we want with move it. For now though, there we go. And this is normal. This looks normal, right? But let's just pretend that this comes in like this. Right. Now, of course, some of these people might want to go this way. Let's just kind of build what constitutes the diamond part of this system, right? Let's just make the diamond. So this is, we got half the diamond here on this side. And then over here, though, we need to finish these and get them connected. Now, typically, you know, a good system would be maybe you have this comes into a roundabout. Maybe this comes into a roundabout. For now, this is kind of what we're working with here. What we probably want to do, and again, I'm just because this is sort of extra egregious, I'm just kind of fixing this a little bit. We are going to do a move it pass when this is done. And this road system is just so nonsensical. You know what? Sometimes you got to be willing to rebuild part of your city, and that's totally fine, guys. Totally fine. Absolutely nothing wrong with this whatsoever. Like in this case, especially because this isn't even our city, so. But what we can actually do here, we can actually have this kind of come around and sort of make kind of like a roundabout type thing. Maybe this actually connects in here. Yeah. Maybe that connects in there or something, you know, it's whatever we want. In this case, honestly, this is a situation where I would just get rid of this altogether. Like, we don't need any of this. Once we do that, we can actually tighten up this whole area quite a bit. No, let's just redo it. Now that we kind of have an idea of the space that we're working with, now that we've cleared the way. And you know, it's all trial. Sometimes it's just all trial and error. I'm going to straighten this out, and that's going to help me build the next road at the angle that I want, instead of having to fight the old angle. Basically, I just want to do like a little You know, sometimes it even looks kind of like a teardrop. A little bit. Depending on how you do it. Something like this, and then we can maybe go in with a heavier road. Heck, maybe we could go in with the 6-lane. This doesn't even need to be this raised up. We could lower all of this. Well, maybe we can't. Well, we can and we can't. Straighten this out a bit. Okay. And we can redo this section so that it looks nicer. We got that little stubby part there, and that's why it's freaking out on us. There we go. Now we have sort of that one of the sides sort of completed how we want. Well, we don't have the diamond aspect, right? What makes it a diamond, we don't really have that going on over here. Let's give it, you know, these people need a way to get there. Then these people maybe need to come here and go. And maybe these people that work in these offices. Oh, they're offices. That's what they are. These are little offices. That's funny. So maybe they need to come this way. In fact, technically we could even just, you know, slip in like this if we want. Absolutely. It'd be completely valid. So you're coming along this way. And there's 4 places. You're coming from one of the 4 places. There's 3 places you would potentially want to go. Coming up this way. Go right. If you're wanting to go over on the freeway into, you know, this part of town, you're just going to go right off here and be on your way. Nice and easy. If you want to go through town, you're going to pop over to here, go through this scary part here, which isn't really that scary because there's going to be a traffic light here. You're going to get to this section here, go through this section, and be on your way this way. How do you get to this section, though? Because really that would mean that if you want to get to this section, you'd have to come down here, turn left, get back on here, and slip through, right? No. So we do need a little sort of Clover-esque type hook in over here. Little Clover-esque type hook in. And we can make this 2-lane, so it's, you know, it's a 1-lane plus a 1-lane into a 2-lane. So they don't have to merge on each other when they do that maneuver. Okay. So basically we now have the basic... Oh, okay, this is a... Why is this a 1-way? Now this being a 1-way is, of course, makes sense because we're getting onto the... So we do need to go through and make sure that our roads, like, you know, let people go different ways. Okay, this is our industrial section. Okay, so kind of getting off on a tangent here. I kind of see what they were going for here. I kind of see what they were going for. And of course, the devs are really just screwing with us with this... with this road placement the way that they've done it, but let's make it so that there's a bit more of a flow here. And this is, we're getting a little bit distracted with this, but having a 1-way here is going to be actually just fine. But these 1-ways need to make way more sense. There we go. So now we have a system where people come in this way. They go up here. They turn left onto the side streets based on where they need to go, and then they just flow out this way. They just flow out this way. We don't want zoning here at all. We don't even want zoning here. What is it? It's a fire truck, a fire station. That's fine. All of these, basically all of this is all just going to be turning in here. In fact, which would justify us in raising the amount of lanes here, I think, to 3. I think that's justified here. And really, you know what, this actually does need to be a one-way. We'll make it a 3-lane one-way though. And we'll increase these to 3 lanes too. That go the right way, of course. Okay. Now this is looking a bit better. We do need these. Some of these trucks actually need to deliver to other facilities, right? A facility here might actually need to deliver to a facility over here. So it does make sense to allow them to loop back on themselves. That's fine. And to do that, we are going to need like a heavy... This could get really busy traffic-wise, but for the most part, of course, the jam up has been here. So this system is technically now functional. The only thing is we do need to come in with traffic lights here and here. So we know what that means, right? We've just done in episode 3 of the preliminary episodes, we set up a time traffic light. So we're going to be doing that here. The cool thing is with this section, so let's make sure this is looking a little whacked out. There we go. We do need to make sure that the arrows, where are we not getting it? There we go. We do need to see the arrows here. We got to make sure that's working properly. Okay, so we want to set up a time tracker light as we learned how to do in part 3 of the preliminary setup, right? So first step, making a time traffic light, is we got to go in and actually paint the lines. These people are only going straight. They're not turning left, because look, if they needed to go left, why are they even here to begin with? If they're coming this way, the last place they need to go is back the way they came. That doesn't make any sense. So it's going to be totally fine just forcing these people. Whoops, that's not right. To just go straight here. Also, these people need to get off. Because again, none of these people actually need to come around this round area, because if they're coming from this way and they just need to get around so that they can go this way, there was a more efficient way they could have done that, right? They could have came here to get on there. They don't need to come all the way around this. And if they needed to go, you know, over here, they would have just taken this. So there's literally no reason why anyone would need to come through here, which is why we're going to set that so that they can't. We could actually make this a turn only, but, you know, just to increase the flow, increase lane usage, we're going to keep that there. We could actually set this so they can only come into there, just to kind of help, you know, make sure these cars aren't swinging across madly. And these, of course, are just going straight across, nice and straight. No sneaky stuff. That's why we've designed this the way that it is, so that the points of entry and the few intersections that this DDI actually has are as smooth as humanly possible. That's the perk of this design, is the fact that these people here are only ever just going straight ahead. Only ever going straight ahead. This lane will be for people specifically trying to slip off, and these lanes will be for the people continuing on, which is going to be the same here. Which is why we probably do want to come in and make this a 3-lane highway on this side as well, on both sides. Right. Go back to the line connector and keep working on this. So here we actually, what I'm going to do here, this is an invisible junction. I'm going to stitch this, because I don't want anybody changing lanes here. I want them to decide what lane they need to be in back here. Way back here. This is where they can change lanes if they need to change lanes. Once they're here, I want them to be locked and loaded. If they're slipping off this way, they're just going to slip off here. Okay. So I think we have officially painted the lines for this DDI interchange. And actually, we do want to paint these because we'd rather again, we don't need them crossing each other. They're going to have an entire freeway to make lane adjustments. They don't have to be making the lane adjustments at the point of entry. Let them make the lane adjustments once they're on the freeway at a high speed. One of the things that clogs up vehicles a lot of the time is just slow vehicles trying to make lane changes. And we can fix that with Traffic Manager, which is really cool. Here, I'm just sort of stitching this area. We don't want these people changing. Actually, no, we do need these people changing lanes here. No, we don't want them changing lanes there. But we do need a thing in the middle here. I think I want it perfectly in the middle that will allow them to change lanes. I think this is kind of too early, and it's also on a bend. So I'd rather them do it here. So the way we're going to fix that, first we're going to lock them in here. I'll lock them in here. But we just need to basically, it's super simple. We're just going to draw a road here. Like this. Okay. Now we can see, now there's a junction here and here. Now we're just going to delete what we did because we don't need that. But if we go back to traffic management on lane connections, now we have junctions here. So this is where people are going to be allowed. Oops, did this not save? It probably got wigged out because of what we just did. Now don't get confused. This is for actually the freeway down below. So now we actually have that these need to be locked in. So now this is where people are going to get to change lanes. If someone's coming along this way, right? They're coming along this way and they need to get out over here, but maybe they weren't in that lane yet. They can change lanes at this point, get over into the proper one that will allow them to go off and get off this way. Okay, it looks like we have everything looking good. Here, though, we definitely want to lock them in there. And, you know, I think for the most part, we want to lock them in here. But we can change this. If we think that this is causing issues, we can go back and actually change this. Again, we're just stitching this road so that they cannot lane change. You don't want people lane changing on turns and at low speed. The AI can't handle that. And sometimes I like, even though it looks like the arrows are going the right way, sometimes I like just painting it just to be sure that the AI doesn't get any crazy ideas, because I don't trust the AI in this game at all. That's why we use traffic managers, because we don't have to trust the AI. Don't have to trust the AI. So everything looks painted. We can always double check this stuff. This is the only one that's not painted because this is where they're freely able to change lanes if they need to. Okay. That's looking good. Now we are ready to go in with the time traffic lights. And these are going to be really nice because they're two-step intersections, two-step lights, because there's only 2 points of entry. There's this point of entry and this point of entry. So it's going to be very simple. We're going to add a step, and again, we're just going to set sort of a default, like 4 and 8. And you know what? Maybe we could go to 5 and 10. Maybe we can go to 5 and 10. And then we're going to add another step. And it's going to default, remember that we're on 5 and 10. Cool. Now we're going to go back and edit these, and we're going to say, okay, cool. They're green in this step. In the next step, they're going to be green. Done. Nice and simple. It's a 2-step process. Now we can hit start. Okay, so that's done. Now we need a similar one over here. It should remember 5 and 10. Nice. It remembers 5 and 10. We're just going to add 2 stops. Now we're going to go back and edit. Flip this on to green. Whoops. Edit. Green. Save. Edit. Green. Save. There we go. Everything looks good. And we can just hit start. So now now we have 2 custom lights on these 2 intersections. And I believe everything else is going to be in order here. So let's let it run for a bit here. Or maybe speed 2 to have this kind of fix itself. Now this isn't necessarily going to just instantly fix all traffic issues. Okay, big issue down here. We have people that are actually avoiding... Oh, I'm sorry. We're not done yet. That taught me that we were not done, actually. There's a couple things going on here. These people are not going to be allowed to go that way. Sorry. Similarly, how we have this curl here, we actually need a curl, like these people coming up here need a curl point onto here. Whoops. So we are just going to grab that freeform tool, not the straight tool, and curl it up like that. There we go. We were missing that very important piece. This is going to be a tight one here. Yikes. It's a little bit tighter than I typically like. And this might, it shouldn't play around with our traffic lights, but this might play around with our line painting. So let's actually make these 2-lane offs just for a little bit of efficiency there. And we probably need to just scoot this whole thing out a bit. It's not, you know, they're not going to be going very fast at this point, but I think if we can adjust this row and give this a little bit more space here, it's gonna be a little bit better. There we go. That doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look great, but it doesn't look too bad. Make that so there's no confusion. These people go to here. Those people go to there. Make this 2-lane over here. Sorry, everybody, this is taking a little bit longer, but we are making a fantastic interchange, and it is going to be fixing a massive traffic issue. But there's a lot of steps to this, but you know what? When you get this, when it works, it's just going to be, spectacular. So this is an industrial zone over here, so I do suspect a lot of traffic is going to need to turn off here. So we're going to let both of these lanes turn over. In fact, this one's going to be priority, or it's going to be a turn only. And we don't want these people swinging across traffic there. Okay. I think everything should be good. So now we can let it run. So we do have an unusual amount of backup here. It's going to take a little bit for the AI to sort of solve itself. But remember, we had traffic all the way back. We have traffic all the way backed up to here. Let's see how this works here. Remember, we can give... Okay, let's go to speed 1 here. Now we can give... let's make sure there's no... Get rid of traffic management so we can just use the vanilla lights to turn on and off. We need to give them more priority, is what I'm getting out of this situation. Is we need to give this light here, so we can just go in and customize it nice and easy. Time traffic lights. Click on the intersection. Stop to edit. Now we need to edit, not this step, the other step needs like way, like we need to just give them 20 seconds. They need a long time. Start. There's also, also we have to remember that there's just a disgusting amount of cars here. Okay, why are we not getting more usage here? Why are we not getting usage out of the outside lane? In fact, it's weird because they're all trying to get to here ultimately. So all they have to do is they could just use this outside lane and just come over and be in the right lane. What we could do is we could actually stitch this so that they're locked here. And then we can come in here. Okay, I'm seeing a quick issue here. I spent too long branching out here. I want to stay focused on what we're... You need roads that can handle, you know, what we're dealing with here. How's our roundabout doing, by the way? Fantastic as always. Okay. Now they're all going to the right. Weird. Now they're all going to the right. Weird. I think it's better, right? We're going to need to continue to work on this in the next one. I think it's really just a matter of letting it run, doing a couple little tweaks, getting better lane usage, maybe changing up how they're able to interact here, because this is definitely part of the issue here. So I will see you guys in the next one, though. This was part 2 of the fixing traffic tutorial, and we're going to have to continue to play with this one, and then we'll work on another traffic issue in the next one. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys later.